What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Media Cast and this subsequent episode of the Movie Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Logie Bear, and beside me is my wonderful friend, Connor Shinman, or the Shininator.
Yep.
And
you're also Logan.
And I'm also Logan.
Yeah.
If you didn't put that together. But we're coming to you today to talk about our expectations and predictions for the movies coming out in 2021. Now, disclaimer. Those of you that have been watching and listening for a while, you already know that we're big hype fans of anything superhero movies. So we will not be spending a ton of time or any time discussing superhero movies. Because we already know they're coming and we're already hyped about them.
Yeah, just to address it, so we feel like we don't exclude them entirely. Black Widow, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and the Eternals from Marvel Studios. Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Morbius, and Spider-Man 3. Whatever that ends up being called, from Sony Pictures, and then Zack Snyder's Justice League and the Suicide Squad. Yeah, we're excited for them.
Yeah,
we're gonna watch them, and we'll go into more detail.
There'll be episodes dedicated to those. Probably
we'll talk about them later. We won't necessarily talk about everything else that we talk about in this podcast. So you can hear us nerd out about them later.
Yeah. So with that in mind, and we're not going to go over every single movie we know that's coming out either. Because that'll just take forever. And truthfully, there are some movies I'm not excited about.
Yeah, and these are the ones that we want to watch.
Yeah.
And we're excited for.
Absolutely.
So, what's the movie you're excited for?
I'm just gonna open us up with my most excited movie of 2021. We're just going right into it. Fast 9.
Yeah.
I am such a sucker for this franchise. I don't care. I know the movie's not going to be good. It's a ridiculous plot. Don't care. I'm just super excited for this movie.
Yeah.
Like, how can you go wrong with just 3 to 4 alpha males just competing on screen all at the same time? I guess Vin Diesel or The Rock and Statham aren't in this one. I guess. Yeah. But
they got 2 alpha.
They still got 2 alpha. There was too much testosterone floating around set. They couldn't deal with it. So, I'm super pumped about this. I mean, John Cena, he's not a bad actor. He's not
a great one.
He's no Robert De Niro or something, but like...
I think he'll fit well in this movie, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely he'll fit well. Just this the knucklehead, jughead type character, just like a vessel for the enemy, I guess. I don't know. I didn't know where I was going with that. But that's what I'm excited for most.
Yeah, I think it'll be a step up. We're taking it to the next level, just like all the previous Fast and Furious movies have been. So I'm excited to see what comes next.
Yeah.
One that I'm excited for. Let's see, Top Gun Maverick. In the spirit of vehicles, let's go Top Gun Maverick. I don't know how much talk there was behind a sequel for this one, for Top Gun, which came out like 40 years ago. It's been some time, but now there's a sequel, and the trailer looks good, and I mean, pair that with the fact that, it's like people actually flying real planes.
Yeah.
Right, and like I've seen some of the behind the scenes stuff, and like the camera rigs that they set up and everything to capture this movie. It's kind of cool, and I'm really excited to see how that looks on screen. I'm not the biggest Tom Cruise fan, truth be told, but I think Top Gun's one of his better movies, and I mean I'm kind of excited to see where they take a sequel and what happens with that.
I'm with you there. I haven't seen Top Gun, the original one, in a long time because it's really old, but I'm excited for this. The trailer gets me every time.
Yeah.
So. I, on the other hand, am a pretty big Tom Cruise fan. Even though I know he just plays Tom Cruise in every movie, I dig it.
Another one that I'm very curious to see how this plays out. And this one, like, it's slated to come out this year. So I'm going to talk about it. Mission Impossible 7. They don't have a specific subtitle for it yet. But these movies, similar to the Fast and Furious series, they get bigger and bolder every time, which is hard to say when, in one of them, Tom Cruise literally hung off the side of a plane.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But the director, Christopher McQuarrie, who's back for this one for his third Mission Impossible film in a
Third.
row.
Yep.
He's all about these stunts, and
Yeah.
letting Tom Cruise
Kill himself.
actively try to kill himself on screen.
Yep.
So I mean, those are the parts of these movies that I like the most. So I'm curious to see what big and bold stunt they do in this one. Stunts. I think there was a footage when they started filming a while ago of like Tom Cruise just driving down like a ramp.
Yeah.
And just like lost the bike, and he has like a wingsuit or a parachute or something.
Yes, there was.
So
that.
I'm like, that cool. Right. Mission Impossible is one of those series where you just kind of you stop thinking critically and just enjoy what you see.
It's the same mode of like Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
It's the exact same. I will say
they're not great pieces of cinema, but
I'll say this.
They're fun.
At least Mission Impossible has at least a little bit of a plot. Like it at least has like some type of like mystery, I'll say, to it, to where you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whereas like Fast and Furious is just how many cars can they wreck?
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, it'll be exciting nonetheless. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think somebody said it in chat, but I'm actually really excited for it as well. The new Uncharted movie.
Yeah.
I've only played the 3 of them. I haven't played the newest one. They're really good.
Yep.
And if you've ever seen like the fan made short film with Nathan Fillion, it's actually really good.
Yeah.
And it sets this world really well. So if it's similar to like this movie's similar to that, then I'll be really excited for it. And I mean Tom Holland playing a young Nathan Drake, Mark Wahlberg, young Sully.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty cool. Like that's kind of one of those duos of actors, those pairs that I never expected to see together.
Yeah.
But I'm excited that it's happening.
Yeah. And I think those games are ones that lend themselves to becoming a movie very well.
They're essentially interactive movies.
Yeah, and like to see like a prequel movie to those games, and I think that was the way to go.
Absolutely.
To like, you can go the route where you just kind of like take the premise and make your own story, and then some people be happy, some people be upset, or you can try and recreate one of the games, and same thing. Some people are happy, some people are upset.
Yeah.
This will be good. I think this is the best plan of action.
Absolutely.
And
and video game movies are kind of notoriously not good. So like I'm hoping that this is a good one. So I'm pretty hyped for that.
Yeah.
It'll be a good one.
And I mean, there's no shortage of video game movies this year. We also have Mortal Kombat coming out, another one.
A third one.
Yeah, and they're rebooting the Resident Evil franchise this year, which I think is kind of funny because I feel like it just ended like a couple years ago. Like I don't think it's been that long, and they're already doing it.
I don't know, say 5 or 6 years. They're pretty old.
Yeah,
they're cool. I've only watched like one of them because my brother made me watch it, and I didn't like it, but it was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I also. Oh, you know what? I'm excited for. Well, I saw 2 of them on my list, but I'm actually really, really excited for Death on the Nile.
Oh yeah.
I love murder mystery movies. So, and like classic Who Has Done This movies.
Yes.
So, and it's a sequel apparently to.
Well, in the sense that it has the same actor and detective from Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah, but it's like it is a continuation of his story. None of the other characters are coming back.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. Good old Kenneth Branagh. Can't really.
Yeah.
He's not a very good director, but man, can he act.
Yeah. So let's hope it balances out in this.
Yeah, hopefully.
Another one, because we were talking about 20th Century Studios movies. There's a movie on the poster in our hallway, Free Guy.
Oh yes.
That was supposed to come out like 6 months ago, and then it was supposed to come out like last month and 2 months ago. And so here's hoping it comes out this year. I really like it when Ryan Reynolds is allowed to play Ryan Reynolds.
Yep.
And this looks like just that on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty pumped for this movie, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I agree. It will be lots of fun. And I mean, you can't necessarily go wrong in a movie like that because it's based on a video game that doesn't exist, so there are like essentially no rules except the rules that you create in your own world. So like I'm not I'm not going into it expecting realism. I'm going into it to be sucked into this like unique experience and world, which is really cool. So I really hope they can do that well.
Yeah.
Which I think they will. But
I got one for us.
Yeah, go for it.
This is probably one of the ones I'm most excited for, and it's interesting because we know very little about it. Last Night in Soho.
Oh!
Which is Edgar Wright's new movie
Yeah.
this year. We know, like, some of the cast, and it's kind of cool. Anya Taylor-Joy's in it, who you may know from New Mutants or recently The Queen's Gambit.
Yeah.
The twin brothers who play George, and what's the other brother's name in Harry Potter? The twin Weasley brothers. They're in this one as well. Fred and George. Yeah. I love like all of Edgar Wright's movies. I think they're so fun and visually stimulating, and like I haven't complained about anything that I've seen by him. And I'm excited to see what he brings next. And I think that like Last Night in Soho this year is what Tenet was for me last year.
Okay.
Where like this is a director that I know and love and follow, and this is his next piece of work, and I'm really excited for it.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm new to the Edgar Wright franchise. I've only recently started going through more of his movies, and I like them. Yeah. So, I mean, I'll see it. It looks good.
Yep.
So, that's kind of hype.
What do you got next for us?
I'm actually really excited about Raya and the Dragon.
Raya and the Last Dragon.
Last Dragon. I don't know. I'm excited for a unique new IP coming to, like, Disney.
Yeah.
I think it'll be exciting.
The trailer looks freaking sick.
It does look cool. And I recordedly on this podcast haven't really caught up on any of the latest Disney and Pixar in the last 8 years, but this actually looks really cool because I loved How to Train Your Dragon, which is Pixar, but I mean
that's DreamWorks.
Well, whatever, they're all the same. But so I'm actually that'll look really exciting. It looks really good, and it doesn't look like just a kids movie. It actually looks like it has some depth to it.
Yeah, and it looks like it takes place over quite a bit of time as well.
Yeah, some good character development.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a Disney Plus series after this, based off of this movie.
You know what? I saw it in chat, and I'm just going to point this out. They really should make an actual good Doom and Halo movie.
Yeah.
But it won't ever happen, sadly. Not in 2021, anyway.
Yeah.
But what else you got? What are we looking at?
Well, let's see what you are here. James Bond, No Time to Die.
Yeah.
Man, this movie has gone through hell.
Oh, holy crap.
Like, it was going to come out, like, right after quarantine started and everything shut down. And then they really, really ramped up to release it in November.
Yep.
And advertising went huge.
They spent a lot of money on it.
And then, like, a week before, they postponed it again to April. I think it's April. And, so, I mean, for their sake, I really hope that it comes out. Because that's a lot of effort and a lot of money to advertise a movie that heavily and then have it not come out when you expect it to. It also looks really cool.
It looks really good. Like, I've seen every James Bond movie. And, like, No Time to Die, Dr. Knows, who the character is based off of, is such a cool villain when, like, I think it was Pierce Brosnan who fought him first. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Dr. No was Sean Connery.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
It was Mr. Connor. Anyway, it's a really cool villain, so I'm really stoked for that.
Yeah.
That should be really cool.
I love Rami Malek.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's done some great work recently, and I'm excited to see him as this villain. And, I mean, Daniel Craig, as much as, like, the behind-the-scenes stuff with James Bond has been shaky, like, basically every movie he makes, he wants to quit after he makes it.
Yeah.
Then he does another one. It's kind of confusing, but I think he's been a very interesting Bond, and as much as he's not like the actors who portrayed the character before, he has been interesting and fun to watch, and he makes for an interesting take on the character.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to see what actually will be probably the last performance of his in this role.
I'm predicting that this is like putting my stamp on it. This is Daniel Craig's last James Bond movie.
Yeah. Well, it looks like they're trying to introduce another 007 in this movie,
They are. It literally is in the trailer.
To like carry the franchise.
Well, just another double O.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna wait till this movie comes out, and if people like this new girl, then they'll keep the franchise going with her, and if they don't, then they'll just recast it with someone else.
Yeah. And now, just a little further prediction here. Henry Cavill has said that he would love to do James Bond, and I would love to see him as James Bond. I think that would be
Are you predicting
awesome.
That? Or are you just whispering into the ears of Hollywood?
Whispering into the ears of Hollywood, just Henry Cavill, James Bond, make it happen.
Yep.
But yeah, okay. Another movie that I know we're both excited for.
Yep.
I think you saw a little more than me is Dune.
Yep.
I haven't.
You had not seen the trailer.
I hadn't seen the trailer. I'd only heard about it, and I was like, "Oh, that's a book and a really old movie that they're like remaking."
Yeah.
And then I saw the trailer when we went and saw Wonder Woman, and I was just like, I was in instantly.
Yeah.
Like I saw the main character, and I was like, that looks really cool. And the cast in this movie is insane.
It's very big.
Like holy
big
cow.
Names. I mean, we don't have like your DiCaprio or anything, but there's a lot of names that people recognize.
And there's a lot of people that I like. Not that my opinion solely matters, but you want to like get me to see a movie, put actors in it that I like and know.
Yep, like Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista, Oscar Isaac, Zendaya. Yep,
like some big names.
And Timothy Chalamet.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not going to ignore the main character.
But I mean,
visually, I mean, we've only had one trailer.
But
it looks really, really good.
Chef's kiss to the trailer.
Yeah, and I'm very excited. I haven't read the books myself, but this is a story like these books are what inspired George Lucas to make Star Wars. So to see this brought to screen now, with like massive leaps in technology, right? To see visually what inspired George Lucas, like I'm very excited.
Me too. And I'm just excited to get like a new something just new. Yeah. Or like I think a lot of people missed out on Dune, myself included, and so I don't think it'll be really good for it. And especially the author of the book too, like clearly put in a lot of work and inspired so many great things, so I think people will have an even greater appreciation for this once they see it.
Yep.
So that's really exciting.
Let's see what else I got here.
Kingsman.
The Kingsman.
The Kingsman.
Yeah, that looks like fun.
Yeah, I mean...
And, I mean, like, one of the greatest parts of the first movie, and even into the second one, but really the first one, which, sparked this big hype, was, like, the stylistic action.
Mm-hmm.
And we see a lot of that in the trailer.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to seeing that.
The choreography in the Kingsman movies is unique.
Yep.
And I hope that they can keep innovating on that choreography, because it's not just that standard like kind of spy choreography where it's like kind of sneaking, and you're constantly just like hitting pistol shots and everything. It's like, well, no, it's very physical and there's lots of movement.
Yeah. Which
is really cool, and the camera motions. Oh, I'm hoping that there is some sweet like pans and quick pans and tilts that they did in like the second movie, or like do the traditional like thing where the camera rolls with the character and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I love that, and I want to see more of that in this movie. And based on the trailer, we're getting it.
Yeah,
which is really cool, and a prequel to how this incredible like organization starts. Yeah, it's really exciting.
Yeah.
So
that's there's a prequel.
Yeah.
I got a sequel for you.
Oh yeah.
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah.
Now we got 2 Ghostbusters movies in the 80s, which they're fun. They're good.
Yeah, the first one's good. Yeah.
Then we had a new take on it. I want to say 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah, 5.
It was kind of funny, but it wasn't very good, and it was really poorly received. And then it kind of went nowhere. Even though they really, the actresses that were in it were definitely sure that they were going to make another one, and they were totally ready to, but people weren't really asking for it, and that inspired the idea of a sequel to the original ones. So they got the son of the director who directed the first 2 to come back and do a sequel off his father's work, and it looks really good.
I'll say
I'm excited for, like, the ghost busting in this movie will be fun, but I'm really excited about the story behind the characters and how they connect to the first one. Also, Paul Rudd's in it, and I really like Paul Rudd.
We love Paul Rudd on this podcast.
Oh yeah, you were gonna say something.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm not the biggest Ghostbusters fan. I never really was. And seeing the trailer for this one, I was kind of like, okay, I kind of like the vibe that they're going with. It seems like it's a little more grounded, in the sense of, like, I don't think ghosts are gonna be like the primary thing of this movie. It'll be some character development and a little slower and stuff, and I'm excited for that. And the fact that it's the director's son doing it is, like, really cool. That is, like, good meta narrative there to drive home.
Yeah,
which is good.
I'm very excited for it.
Yeah,
and I will be lining up to go see that. Well, not really, because I don't think. Yeah, I'm gonna go see it as soon as I can.
Yeah, do that.
Another one that I'm interested in is a movie called Nobody. A trailer dropped for it just like a couple weeks ago. Stars Bob Odenkirk as, and this is a plot you've heard before. This is not a new story. As a guy who used to be in the underground crime business, but retired to start a family, but then his family gets attacked, so he comes out, and he's a very violent person, and he fights a lot of people. And if it sounds a lot like John Wick, it's because it sounds and looks a lot like John Wick.
So it's a John Wick ripoff.
Yeah, but it looks really, really cool. And I think Bob Odenkirk, the actor, will carry the character really well, and it'll make it very exciting. And the action looks, like, brutal in the trailer, so I'm excited to see that throughout a whole movie.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as in the real world, I don't want anyone to get hurt, I kind of like watching it in movies. So I'm excited to see it.
No, that's cool. I haven't seen that trailer yet, so I didn't even know that movie was a thing, but it sounds cool. You know? I love John Wick. We're supposed to be getting a fourth one at some point.
Yep.
Not
Eventually.
next year, though.
I think it's next year, not this year.
Yeah, 2022.
Yeah. We are getting Matrix 4 this year.
We are getting Matrix 4.
Hopefully. It's slated for this year.
Yeah.
With one of the directors coming back from the original 3.
One of the bros.
It's one of the sisters now, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. They're not going to watch this.
Can't take it seriously, dude. Let's just keep going.
I'm curious to see where they take this story, because the third one ended very definitively. Was spoiler alert for a movie that came out 20 years ago. Neo, Keanu Reeves, dies at the end. So it feels like it's hard to continue a story from there. But it looks like they're giving it a shot, and I'm excited to see where they take it and where they go with it. And you know, with it being one of the original directors, I think that, you know, the vision will carry through.
I would agree to that. Excuse me. I've never actually watched all 3 of the Matrix movies. I've only ever seen, like, the first one, because I heard the last 2 were
easily
bad.
the best one. So.
Yeah. Maybe I'll see this. This wasn't... I'm not as excited about it as Connor is. I'm kind of like... Nah, that's something I don't think many people were, like, dying for, you know?
Yeah.
It just kind of feels like the studio needs money quick, so they're like, oh, let's just bring one of our dusty old IPs off.
Well, and I think it's a big result of Keanu Reeves being so popular these days.
Yeah.
If he was just a casual actor, I don't think they would have bothered.
I would agree with you.
I got another one, and I know you're not going to be excited for this, so I apologize to you.
Go for it.
But I think it's going to be very good. John Krasinski has recently started directing, and a few years ago, he directed a movie called A Quiet Place.
Okay, to clarify, just because I don't watch the movies doesn't mean I can't recognize that they're good. I've seen the trailers of
but you're not
the
excited
reviews.
for this.
No, I'm not excited.
Yeah. He made A Quiet Place, which is a horror movie that is really, really well done. Because it builds suspense so well. And I mean, like, this was kind of shocking for me, because it's like John Krasinski, like, when I think of his name, I think of The Office.
They think of goofy old Jim.
Yeah, he's the guy that plays pranks on his coworker, right? And I know he's been in other stuff as well as, you know, more menacing people, but that's kind of what I think of. And to think that he crafted a horror movie that people really, really liked kind of blew my mind. And then when I watched it, I said, wow, you actually really pulled this off. This is next level stuff. Like, the use of sound and the lack thereof is super smart. And the way that these creatures react and everything and look and how menacing they are is very cool. And so I'm excited to see where they go in this next step. Because, I mean, he's back to direct the sequel. Good for him.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really excited. I mean, I'm going to be scared the whole time. I expect that. But I think it'll be a scared that I will happily accept because it'll be, you know, well-deserved.
Nice.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer like 10 times. Oh my gosh. It seems like every movie I went to.
Yeah. Because it's like one of the only things that was coming
Yeah.
up.
So I've seen the trailer and it looks good. And I'm a big Emily Blunt fan, so I'm always like, okay. Now, this is one that I'm not as excited for, but I think it's worth mentioning.
Yep.
They are doing Space Jam, A New Legacy.
Yeah, with LeBron James.
With Mr. James.
Yep.
And as a person who, like, even when I first saw Space Jam when I was a kid, like, I didn't really know the impact that, like, who Michael Jordan was. I knew that he's a basketball player.
Yeah.
But, like, that was at the height of his, like, career, you know? Or, like, around there, I guess. And so they're, like, you know, they're doing the same thing with LeBron, and I just don't know if he has the charisma to, like, carry it like Michael Jordan did. And maybe I'm just super nostalgic of the first one, so I'm looking at this new one with that same lens. I'll recognize my bias there, I guess. But I don't know. I'll watch it, and it looks fun.
And to be fair, I mean, we haven't seen LeBron James do many, if any, movies, right?
Yeah, he's done a couple cameos and some stuff, but yeah, like he hasn't done a full-fledged movie. So,
right, so to see him as like the main character of a movie, we really don't know what to expect. I think it'll be fun at the very least.
Yeah, I would agree.
And if I'm guessing, it'll be good, but not as good as the first one, as many sequels are. So, I'm gonna watch it. And what's interesting about this one, that has me particularly interested, because the easy route would be to do the same thing with LeBron James.
Yeah.
You know, have him come and play basketball. But that's not the point of this movie.
Yeah, it's different.
Them running around different Warner Brothers movies and trying to bond with his son or find him or something. And to change it up a little bit, that's a good move.
That's a very good mood. I just want to point out, so Mr. Trout in chat is calling it right now. Space Jam's gonna win 2021's Best Picture. So clip it, keep you accountable to it.
Yep.
There you go. I think I'm gonna do my other one, Jungle Cruise.
Do it.
Just kind of go through the Disney-ish type movies.
Yeah.
Jungle Cruise looks real. The first trailer I saw, I was like, oh, this looks dumb. And then I saw another trailer, and I was like, oh. And then again, huge Emily Blunt fan, so like, that plays into it a little bit. But I actually think it's a unique, like, take on a movie of like, it's kind of like a buddy cop style, but like they don't trust each other.
Yeah.
So, but they're in a very precarious situation, so they have to learn to trust each other, and that's the whole thing. But there's like some cool mystery kind of surrounding it.
Yeah.
So I'll be excited to it. I'll watch it.
This one, it doesn't look like it's going to be good.
No.
But it could be fun.
Yes.
And I mean, when you got Dwayne Johnson in the movie as well, that kind of tells you that, you know, probably won't be good, but it will be fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that'll be good to see as well. What else I got here? Oh, yes. I don't know how many of these ones you've seen, but they are doing Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah, I keep seeing that on this list, and I'm like, eh.
Which has been teased since 2014.
Yeah.
When Godzilla came out. they released Godzilla 2014, and a couple years later they released Kong Skull Island, and it was very obvious, and I think they kind of almost winked at the camera at the end of the movie and said, "Yeah, they're gonna fight."
Are they made by the same production?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they made Godzilla King of the Monsters, and a lot of people, myself included, expected King Kong to show up. At the very least in a post-credit scene, but they teased Mecha Godzilla instead, or some robotic monster. And I was like, "Oh man, you're stinging me so bad right now."
Get played.
I know, and they said, "Oh yeah, it's coming," and reading the internet and news and interviews and stuff, it's been happening for a while, but on screen and in the movies they haven't confirmed it yet. So the fact that now there is a movie coming out where it's going to happen, I'm so excited.
I'll watch it. I'll see giant monsters fight. I'm always in for a kaiju type battle.
Oh yeah.
So that's cool, but I just never got into Godzilla or King Kong. I just never enjoyed, or Rampage and all those monster
Well, Rampage was significantly worse than.
But just the evil thing destroys the city type thing, and it's okay, I know you're gonna kill it or it's gonna run away at the end of the. I don't know. I found them too predictable.
Well, that's what's nice about these ones is they're the good guys. Godzilla and King Kong, they both protect people because they're good people. Oh. Except for Sam Jackson, King Kong does definitely kill Sam Jackson because he's a piece of garbage.
Fair enough.
Not in real life, in the movie.
No, in the movie, I know.
I think Sam Jackson's probably a decent guy in real life.
Yeah, no, he is.
What else we got here? Oh, yes. The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
Oh, yeah.
The Hitman's Bodyguard was a movie that kind of caught me by surprise.
Yeah, me too.
I just went to it one night because it came out and it was a movie with Ryan Reynolds and Samuel Jackson. And it was so funny and so funny. Good. And I said, wow, this is awesome. And I really didn't need a sequel to it. I wasn't that was so good, I want to see another one.
Yeah.
But they are making another one. And I'm not complaining.
Absolutely.
Because I think, if they keep the same charisma and momentum from the first movie, this is going to be a blast.
Absolutely.
And
are they supposed to be in it too?
Yep.
Okay.
I believe that they are both protecting Salma Hayek. Or Hayek, however you say your last name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, we'll find out more when we get a trailer eventually.
Yeah.
But, premise alone, I'm in. 110%.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how the chemistry works because apparently they hated working with each other.
They hate each other
so much.
Sam Jackson and Ryan Reynolds are mortal enemies.
Yeah. They just... One person said one thing, kind of off, just under their breath, and then the other one took offense to it, and then they never... Yeah, they don't like
and
each
this
other.
is next level too, because famously Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have a rivalry going on. And it's very obviously all in good fun.
Yeah, it's all fake.
And it's all, to have their fans have some fun.
Yeah, it's for the memes.
But this one is just two guys that do not like each other at all.
Yeah, it's like The Rock and Vin Diesel. They just do not like each other.
Yeah.
And that's, you get, again, they're two very alpha males. They go in and they command a set. So, what are you going to get, right?
Yeah. It does make for a pretty awesome movie, though.
Absolutely, because, that's, I think, what made The Hitman's Bodyguard so good.
Yeah.
And I hope that carries over into the next one.
Yeah. A few years ago,
yeah,
Peter Jackson came back. Famous director of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. And he made a documentary called They Will Not Grow Old, I believe it was called.
Yeah.
Where he took World War II footage,
yes.
and colorized it and got lip readers to read what they were saying and put audio on it and made this documentary, and it was very, very fascinating.
It's powerful. I haven't seen it in a while, but it's good.
Yeah. And it's almost shocking looking at what we're used to seeing black and white photos of the war, and now we're seeing it in color and the in-between moments. This isn't just when they're fighting, shooting at each other. This is a bunch of guys in a trench 3 weeks waiting.
Yeah, they got gangrene crawling all over them. Yeah,
and it's really, really fascinating. that worked out so well that they convinced him to do. I don't know how much convincing it took, but he's doing another one.
Yeah.
With the Beatles, which I believe is being released on Disney Plus this year.
Yeah, it is.
A documentary about the Beatles, which would be a very long picture, in a similar style to They Will Not Grow Old.
That's cool.
With like reused old footage and stuff. And I feel like the Beatles. I mean, I guess they made the movie Yesterday a few years ago. With like a cool take on their music, but I feel like the Beatles themselves haven't been, tackled in cinema in a while. So I'm curious to see, where this goes. And I mean, I don't watch the most amount of documentaries that come out, but I do like them, especially when they're really well made. And I think that this is one that will be good. And I plan on watching it.
I'm always in for. I'm not like I don't listen to the Beatles religiously or anything, but they're such unique people. And the band and just how they stole the world's eyes is super cool. So I dig this. And if it's the same type of thing with the World War II Peter Jackson style, then I'm definitely in.
Yeah. Now tell me what you think about this. What are your thoughts on the previous two G.I. Joe movies?
I love them. They're stupid fun. They're just ridiculous.
Are you aware that they're making a origin story for Snake Eyes this year?
Yes.
Yeah, starring Henry Golding.
Yep.
As the titular character. We don't know a lot.
Nothing.
But it's gonna be fun. I mean,
yeah.
I don't see this going really bad at all.
No, definitely not.
Like worst case scenario, it's a decent fun movie.
Hasbro just wants to sell toys.
That's worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Right. I think this could be really cool.
Hasbro just wants to sell toys.
Oh, absolutely.
That's guaranteed. That's what like the whole push of the movie. That's like why Transformers is a thing.
Yeah.
But actually, I remember like when the first G.I. Joe movie came out. Like me and my friends invested so much time in that like universe and stuff. And it's awesome. I'm excited. I'm really sad that Channing Tatum didn't come back in the second one for more than 5 minutes.
It's got blown up.
Yeah, but that's really cool. I forgot that one was coming out. Now, a movie that I'm excited for is a remake.
Yes.
It's a remaking West Side Story.
Yep.
And I like musicals, and I like that type of like atmosphere stuff. So hopefully it's good, and it's not just a stage being filmed like Hamlet or just Hamilton.
Yeah.
So
I'm a lot more picky when it comes to musicals, and some people get mad at me because I don't like some musicals like Les Mis because I think that a musical shouldn't be all singing.
I agree.
And people get mad at me for that.
That's a concert
on
a musical.
Yell at me.
Yeah.
West Side Story is a very well-made musical.
Yes.
It's very smart, in its use of music and, placement of it. And, doing it again, I believe Spielberg's directing as well.
He is.
Go for it.
So,
don't mess it up. But make this movie and I'll go watch it.
Absolutely.
Like, I'll just throw this out here. Lin-Manuel Miranda is writing the music for a movie this year called In the Heights. Yeah, I intentionally didn't mention it because I'm not excited for it. I think it's going to be probably not that great.
Everybody's going to go and see it because of the hype of Hamilton, and then it's not going to be that good.
Yeah.
Like, that's just facts. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sure the Hamilton, like, Broadway production is amazing. The Disney Plus steady cam of just, like, the camera they plopped in the seats, terrible. Just terrible.
Yeah.
Garbage. So,
but West Side Story, I think, has a lot of potential.
Yeah, I do too. I just hope they film it like a movie. That's my hope.
Yeah.
So, that's what I expect anyway. Because it's not a it's
All right, I got another one for you.
Yeah, go for it.
Ready for this?
Yeah.
Now, I'm actually curious to see how excited or unexcited you are for this. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them 3.
After the first one, I was really excited for Crimes of Grindelwald.
Yeah.
And then I watched Crimes of Grindelwald. I even used Cineplex, like, movie rental thing that you get with the combo to watch that thing. And it was not good.
It's quite bad.
It's just impossible to follow.
Now, here's my hope for the third one.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
Decent or good. Because the second one was so much setup
Yeah.
for future movies. And my biggest problem with it is that they set up so much for the future movies that they barely made a movie of their own.
Yes.
But now that everything's been set up, I hope that they can roll into this next one and just get going.
That's what I hope.
No. I mean, there's a chance that they don't. And I mean, another thing that's interesting about this movie is Johnny Depp's boot off of it and a replacement by Mads Mikkelsen. Now, if you're gonna replace Johnny Depp, Mads Mikkelsen is definitely the guy to do it.
It's the best choice, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But it's the wrong choice, Warner Brothers. Sorry.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I think they could make that transition smooth, and I think that the character will still be, creepy and sinister.
Well, and that was one thing that was really cool is Grindelwald is so cool. Like, that carriage scene when he escapes at the beginning of the second movie is so epic. And, like, I just don't want them to lose that going into this movie. Because that was, like, the one redeeming factor. So I hope they don't lose that in this movie.
Yeah. I would like to see less emphasis on Newt's commander. Which I know that's a hot take. And I'm sorry if you really like Newt. But he's, like, openly a pacifist. And he doesn't want to be a part of this. Yeah. And he just gets dragged in the whole second movie.
No, I want less of that. I want less of the stupid love triangle bullcrap that kept flying around, and how the one lady put a magic spell on the muggle, and then he loves her, but then it was stupid, and it destroyed the movie. And
well, that was hardly what destroyed the movie, but it definitely contributed.
It didn't. It was not the sole reason, but it was a big contributor.
Yeah.
And so if they get rid of that, it'd be fine. It would totally be fine.
Yeah.
So I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yes. End off.
Yeah, one more.
With two more, actually.
Two more.
One of them has more potential than the other.
Okay.
I'll start with the one with less potential.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I know.
They're making a fourth Hotel Transylvania movie.
Oh, yes.
With Adam Sandler and all his buddies. The third one I didn't think was that good.
Isn't that the one where they go on a cruise?
Yeah. And then they beat an evil monster by doing the Macarena. Yeah. Listen, these movies are fun and they have potential. I hope they focus more on the fact that they're all monsters again, and have fun with that.
Yeah.
Because that's where I think the joy and the beauty of the first two came from. And I'd really like to see this fourth one be good once again. And the other animated pick coming out this year is Sing 2.
Oh, yeah.
With Matthew McConaughey returning as a little koala.
Yeah.
Who hosts singing competitions. And a lot of the cast from the first movie is coming back, like Scarlett Johansson and Taron Egerton, but they're also bringing back some new people like Bono. Yeah. And listen, I thought the first one was a lot of fun, and I think that they could probably pull it off again.
Nice.
Now I hope that this doesn't get beat like a dead horse.
Yeah.
But I think they could make one, maybe two. I don't want to encourage anything, but I think this one has a lot of potential to be very good and very fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what? We'll end off on this one. We'll do Minions: Rise of Gru.
I'm not excited for this at all.
I'm not excited for it either. In the sense that I'm excited. I just want to hear more Michael's. I want to hear more Steve Carell as Gru. That's all I want. But on that note, this has been
the movie cast.
The movie cast. Thank you all for joining us. Remember, we are on Spotify. Just search the Media Cast. You'll find us. I've made the decision that I'm not gonna back catalog everything.
Yeah.
So it starts at Christmas, and that's that. If you want to watch all of our previous stuff, check out our YouTube channel. It'll be linked in the description.
You can see the progression of our podcast.
You can see how they've gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and check out facebook.com/themediacast. All new episodes will be uploaded there as well, so you can watch them on Facebook if you want to, I guess, if you're Yeah.
Go for it. Do it.
Yeah, go for it. And that's that. Make sure you guys hit up the Shininator Film Reviews, facebook.com/Shinman's List. If you want more movie review content in a written form. He's been doing it a lot longer than I have, and he writes it way more better than I could.
Thank you.
So, hit him up there. And if you want to watch live, or you want to watch me be bad at video games, hit the follow button, twitch.tv/LoganBear74.
Yep.
But,
thanks for watching.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for listening.
We will
see you later.
See ya later.